तेरी याद आ गई मुझे। 99.97 फ्रेशर, ओके सान्या। 99.96 फ्रेशर फीमेल फ्रेशर, 9.71, 99.16 ओके फ्रेशर, ऑलराइट। जेम 998 1 year work experience, 99.2, okay. So the lowest one fresher. Sejal, are you fresher or are you general? Okay, that's going to be really helpful. Okay, great. Gem, okay, lovely. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Good. Okay, rest of the category, folks, just type in your calls. What calls you guys have, at what percentile? Sorry, just type in a profile, just type in SC, this OBC. Let's go one by one. Female OBC 96.88, 99.9C, OBC male engineer, okay. SC 98.38, all right, super. Third 20 months experience, rest of the folks, all the Calcutta call getters. Okay, 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 okay. SC, OBC, PWD 95, 93.58. Okay, Anupriya, male, EWS, all right, super. Okay, female ST 92 and 98.6. Okay, lovely. Anybody else, EWS or somebody else who's left right now? All the Calcutta call getters. Okay, super. Male SC 92. Okay, okay, great. This helps me to understand who's the last person to get a call as well. 82, 88, 80, 88.7 PWD fresher. Okay, good score, yeah, good scores. ठीक है भाई. Okay, 99.16. Sejal, are you fresher? Are you general? 90.16? Yes, sir. You
Yes,
can
sir.
answer. लवली. भाई कैसे कॉल आया आपका? ये क्या है, बैकग्राउंड क्या है आपका?
Sir, I've done BA program in economics and maths from Miranda House.
वेरी गुड, वेरी गुड, सुपर डुपर कांग्रेट्स. कन्वर्ट कर देना भाई, बहुत ही लकी हैं आप. और हाँ, कन्वर्ट करना हर हालत में, कुछ भी होता है, ठीक है.
Sure, sir.
बढ़िया. कैलकाटा इज ऑल्सो गिविंग, आई कॉल देम वियर्ड कैटेगरी ऑन माई यूट्यूब, इफ यू रिमेंबर दैट. ठीक है. चलो भाई, बढ़िया. ओके, आई एम टेलिंग यू फॉर द लास्ट टाइम, आई एम सिटिंग आउटसाइड माय हाउस, आई एम लॉक्ड अप राइट नाउ, सो प्लीज मेक श्योर दैट यू कन्वर्ट दिस कॉल. हाँ, मेरी मेहनत के लिए करना, और मैं जमीन पे बैठा हूँ लिटरली नेक्स्ट टू माई क्लोथिंग विच हैव टू गिव. सो बाय द टाइम दिस लॉग गाय कम्स इन, you have to make sure that you convert your calls and work hard. Lovely. Let's talk to seniors quickly. Okay, who wants to go first? Shubham, you want to go first and tell your profile and help all these IIM Calcutta call getters to convert their call. Let's go.
Yeah, of course. So I'm basically a GEM, general engineer male, with a below average profile, 886, and my CAT score was around 99.84.
9.84.
So that
That's lovely.
setup C was my best call, and I converted that.
Okay, awesome, awesome, awesome. That's great. Great, great, great. 99.84 you said, right?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Super, congrats,
Yeah.
man.
Also,
Great.
I
Nithin,
had
you.
3.5 years of work ex.
Okay, that helps. That helps. Thanks for that. Great, Nithin.
So I had a 99.17. I'm a non-engineer with a master's and OBC male, and my profile was 889, and my work ex is 26 months.
26 months. Excellent. Thank you so much. Great. Who's next? Where is our Rishank? Go ahead. Rishank तो मेरा favorite आदमी है यहाँ पे. हाँ, Rishank, go ahead.
Yeah, so I am a general engineer and I did my engineering from BITS Pilani and I got 19.96% in CAT, but my profile is 985 and I have a gap of 1 year. So yeah, no work ex and still got into IIM Cal.
It did 5. तो जो लोग भाई जिनका 5 भी लगा हुआ है, he is a role model for many people who think IIM Calcutta नहीं हो सकता. बहुत ही बढ़िया, बहुत ही बढ़िया. Superb man, superb. Okay, who's next? Hriday.
Yeah. Hi, sir. So I've done my graduation from SRCC batch of 2023. I had 1 year of gap on in my profile. After that, I had close to 10 months of work experience, and my profile was 898, and my CAT percentile was 96 percentile. I'm a PWD student.
Okay, lovely, lovely. Great, great. Thanks for joining in. I think we got one more. Shubham has joined in. Let me just check. Shubham, are you around?
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm here.
okay, okay, lovely. Hi, Shubham. Quick introduction.
Yeah, I have given my
He's
introduction.
given.
अच्छा, वो शुभम भी हो गया.
Yeah.
ओके, पांचों हो गए. तुषार, तुषार कहाँ रह गया? सॉरी, सॉरी. वेयर इज तुषार?
सर ऋषांक को लास्ट ईयर देखा था, मुझे याद है वो
तेरे
क्वेश्चन पूछ रहा था लास्ट ईयर।
हाँ हाँ हाँ
हाँ
तेरे
मुझे याद है वो पूछ रहा था।
तेरे
हाँ
तेरे
टूका
पढ़ते.
पहुंच गया,
हाँ सर,
कैसा लग
और
रहा
क्या,
है?
बढ़िया ही है मतलब अब तक तो। यहाँ का पार्टी कल्चर कुछ ज्यादा ही क्रेजी है, बट ठीक है।
मुझे नहीं
सब
पता भाई क्या बोल रहा है।
सब मत बता अभी भाई, सब मत बता अभी, ठीक है, ग्रेट ग्रेट। तो भाई इसे सीनियर जूनियर मीटअप एज वेल। भाई प्लेज, पहले तो प्लेज लिखो चैट के अंदर, तुम्हारा अगर कैलकाटा कन्वर्ट होगा अगले साल आना है तुम्हें यहाँ पे वापस, समझ आ रहा है? एंड यू हैव टू कम एंड हेल्प द जूनियर्स एज वेल, राइट? तुषार इज अ रीसेंट ग्रेजुएट ऑफ कॉलेज गोल्डमैन सैक्स राइट नाउ। प्रशांक इज रैपिंग अप इज क्या सेकंड सेम थर्ड सेम?
सेकंड सेम थर्ड सेम अब चल रहा है।
बहुत ही बढ़िया, बहुत ही बढ़िया, गुड यार, गुड गुड। चले भैया, अच्छा IIM अहमदाबाद के भी क्वेश्चन आ रहे हैं, थोड़ी देर के लिए होल्ड होल्ड करते हैं, लेट्स गो भाई, लेट्स स्टार्ट। एंड बिल्कुल आयुष, ये हुई ना बात भाई। हाउ वाज योर इंटरव्यू एक्सपीरियंसेस? वी गोना वन बाय वन and then let's begin. Prashank, let's start with you. Just talk about your interview experience. I remember your interview experience was really amazing, and we'll help them up. तो कुछ चीजें अपन लाइव पे ही बता रहे हैं लोगों को, बट बाकी चीजें अपन इंटरनल बातें, गंदी गंदी बातें नहीं बतानी अभी, वो अपन पर्सनल फ्रंट पे करेंगे नियरली एट 11:40 फ्रंट राइट नाउ। और जो लोग बाकी लाइव में सुन रहे हो भाई, ये सब चीजें कुछ गुप्त चीजें होती हैं जो आपको पता होनी चाहिए, वो पब्लिक फोरम में नहीं बोल सकते। प्रशांत लेट्स गो यार, बता दे अपना इंटरव्यू
Yeah,
एक्सपीरियंस।
so I would say I was really lucky with my interview experience because the moment I stepped in, I was a bit nervous because they make you sit outside where it is completely silent, just outside the interview room. So there, everyone is very silent. So there you become nervous a bit. But once you enter, I guess my panelist realized I was nervous, so he commented on my height, and that I got relaxed after that question. And then he just asked me to introduce myself. So I introduced myself, and because I noticed the panel was about 50, 55 plus people, I said that I've heard Jagjit Singh. So then they went into that tangent because I also mentioned my hobbies is music. So they talked about Jagjit Singh, what his genre and all that was. Then they shifted to my internships. So I had two internships because in BITS Pilani we go for two interns. One is a 2 month long, one is a 6 month long intern. So one was in an NGO which lasted for 2 months, and another I had worked in a aerospace laboratory which was for 6 months. So we talked mainly around that. And my interview, I would say, went very smoothly. They asked me a few questions in which I felt I could have cross-questioned them that what exactly does he want to know from me. So that was the only point which I felt I could have done better. But overall, my interview experience was very calm. They did not try to stress me out or pressure me or anything. So it was very relaxed interview. And I think not a lot of interviews go like this. Maybe that day the panel in that specific region was like that because the rest of the interviews also I did not hear that they grilled anyone. So maybe our that day was lucky. Maybe I don't know. And they do ask general knowledge questions, so you can have general knowledge questions. I did not get it, but my panel asked someone else. So he had a finance profile completely. He even had a startup in finance which he had worked on for around 10 months or something, but they asked him general questions and only general knowledge questions. So that can also happen. So there is a chance that even if you have a profile of something very specific, they might not ask you anything regarding that.
That's lovely. That, and was it towards the end or was it towards the start?
Um,
मतलब was it
what
towards the
part?
end of the cycle, like Feb first second week के मार्च में हुआ था तेरा?
I guess Feb end.
Feb end odd. Great. So
Yeah.
panelists tend to go a little bit, little bit mellow down towards the end as well. तो ये आप लकी हैं तो ऐसा हो सकता है। स्टार्टिंग में तो पैनलिस्ट भी चौड़ में होते हैं, आ जाओ भाई हम तो क्वेश्चंस पूछेंगे। But nevertheless, let's begin. बहुत बढ़िया। Okay, who wants to go next? Tushar, you want to go next? Talk about your interview experience.
Yes, sir. So my interview experience was pura ulta of this. So it
Hmm.
was as bad as it could get. So the professor that I had was one of the stats guys in there, and he grilled me in stats for 45 minutes. Straight up. Levels, I forgot the levels of questions. ये है अच्छा, ये इसमें ये क्यों है, इसमें ये क्यों है. That is how it went. I thought that it's okay, I'll just escort myself out, it's done. So that is how it worked, but again it worked out. So मैथ्स पे एक एक क्वेश्चन तो सबको था ही मेरे साल में, तो एटलीस्ट एवरीवन हैड एटलीस्ट वन मैथ्स का क्वेश्चन. समवन वाज टोल्ड टू ड्रॉ सम बेसिक ग्राफ दे दिया, y इक्वल टू f of x कुछ दे दिया टू ड्रॉ. these kinds of things were there, but apart from that, given your profile, तुमने क्या किया है उसके ऊपर specific questions, they'll grill you on that if you especially get a professor like that.
Got it. What kind of stats you will talk about? Was it beyond mean median mode or was it like a deeper dive into probability or what?
So, sir, it started right from basic regression ka stats, and it went to deriving a distribution at the end of it.
Wow, wow. Okay, great. Are you guys ready for all such questions on the chat? Yes or no? We all the IIM Calcutta. But IIM Calcutta is a quant heavy. Yes or no in the chat? IIM Calcutta is a very quant heavy systems there, and all the professors love quants. खून में इनकी quant के अंदर. तो इसलिए हाँ, yes or no on the chat? Are you guys ready for such questions? हाँ भाई, on the chat. फटाफट. Yes or no? Vedant, Ayush, Shaumin. Okay, yes, assist more or less ready. Vedant is not ready. Rest of the books. Yes, 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 yes. Okay, lovely. Derivations, Baru Ali, maybe Moksha, we got to prepare. All right. Primarily non-engineers, huh? Prepare that very, very hard. Nowadays, most of the subjects in all your IIMs are on the similar lines. And whether it's operation research or whether it's थोड़ा बहुत costing as well, but you will need a lot of maths in that. Even market research subjects or analytics, you will need maths for sure. तो जिनके maths के फंडे क्लियर नहीं है तो भाई पढ़ लीजिएगा. It's gonna be really helpful. ठीक है, बढ़िया. शुभम और हृदय, let's go with you next. Tushar, any piece of advice? You've been mentoring all of these folks from a long time. Any piece of advice for them?
So the only piece of advice that I'll give for especially for Cal interviews is things for 50% of the people will go wrong during the interview. You just have to stay grounded, answer whatever it is that you can, and prepare very, very well. There is no other way apart from it than preparing very, very hard and उस time पे load नहीं लेना है. That is all that there is. Otherwise, because वो लोग देखते हैं stress handle कर पाओगे at the end of day.
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल, it can go in any direction for sure, and I've seen if you go through your dockets which are available on the dashboard, they can go anywhere on this, huh? All you, I think 40 odd people who are there right now, so don't take this lightly for sure. It's IIM Calcutta, they may rip you off, and IIM Calcutta is equivalent to IIM ABC. A lot of people are leaving Ahmedabad and going to Calcutta. ऐसा भी हो रहा है यार तुषार, ऐसा क्यों हो रहा है? A lot of people are leaving Ahmedabad and going to Calcutta.
रिसेंट ईयर्स में तो ये हमारे साल में कुछ कुछ तो हुआ था फ्रॉम व्हाट आई हैड नोटिस्ड. कुछ कुछ फिनके कंपनीज है जो लोग बहुत स्पेसिफिकली कुछ जगहों पे जाते हैं. तो देयर आर फ्यू अपॉर्चुनिटीज दैट डिफर अक्रॉस कैंपसेस. कुछ कुछ ऐसा भी होता है जो ई में आते हैं, सिर्फ सी में नहीं आते बी को. तो ये मतलब सी तो दैट कैन बी वन ऑफ द रीजंस, पुटिंग इट वेरी लाइटली.
ओके ओके, गुड 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 गुड. बाकी कल्चर की बातें हम थोड़ी देर ऑफ कैमरा
हाँ
करेंगे.
एग्जैक्टली.
ठीक है. सी की पार्टीज बड़ी मशहूर हैं, ठीक है, मैं तो बोल ही सकता हूँ. बट आई एम गोइंग टू बी लॉयल टू दीस सेशंस. अगर आई एम अहमदाबाद चल रहा है तो आई एम गोइंग टू बी लॉयल टू अहमदाबाद. सी चल रहा था, आई एम गोइंग टू बी लॉयल टू सी. इनफैक्ट आई गिव माय फर्स्ट टेड टॉक long back in IIM Calcutta, and I spent nearly a day there, and it was such a beautiful campus. And of course, I'm Bangalore and I'm Ahmedabad. I spent nearly 15 days doing my entrepreneurship course. So, yeah, all of them are like very, very close to my heart. All right, super. Hriday, what's your story, man? What's
Yeah.
your profile and how was your interview?
Sir, so I am a commerce graduate from SRCC, and I got a professor. One of them was a quant professor, like he was from the operations background, and the other one was from fin background. And this was like a very deadly story for me because operations plus fin both coming together was like something that was very risky for me. And what happened was, first I went in, I was asked a very simple question, that AP ki derivation. I had to derive that and I had to give the explanation. This was done by the operations prof. And after that, like sum of an AP and how to calculate the nth term of AP. And after that, the Fin professor came in. So given the fact I had experience in Fin, so he started asking me about my company. I was working for a startup. So first he tried to get a little insights about my company. Then he was going till depth in finance, starting from basic coming till derivatives, and he asked me how to calculate option premium and what all and what not. So it was more of a fin heavy interview for me. And after all this grilling was done, then I was asked that what are my hobbies, and there was a small discussion, and the interview actually ended at a relatively lighter mood than what it was actually going in the beginning.
Wow. Okay, that's lovely. That's lovely. Great, yeah, great. So again, a reminder to all the people who are from non-engineering background. Maths is one thing Cal loves. If you're non-engineer, be ready for it's a start होगा and can go to derivation and regression and stats for sure. तो ये तो पक्का पढ़ने ही पढ़ने. Maybe if time permits, we'll do a small session with all the non-engineers. और जिनको नहीं पता है, पता नहीं कैल में होता है कि नहीं. आम अहमदाबाद में तो यार ये सब non-engineers को एक महीना पहले बुला के सेशन करवाते हैं. Is there some special training? Prashant,
No,
तुम्हारे
sir.
टाइम? No. Okay. So Ahmedabad.
Optional.
हाँ सर, AAW करके होता है.
होता है,
So
होता है.
there are some classes 2 weeks before and it is online, so it is not on campus.
अच्छा.
So that is the thing, but it is there. And there is, in CAD specifically, there is a maths exam. So you have to give qualifying mathematics, and if you don't clear it after 3 attempts, then you are removed from the course
But
completely.
everybody clears it.
Yeah,
Don't
but
worry.
it's very easy. So it's like it's there, but it's very easy. So it's not that much of an issue.
डराओ मत यार, पहले तो बेचारे कॉल कन्वर्ट करेंगे, उसके बाद कॉलेज में जाके.
नहीं पेपर बहुत आसान आता है वैसे.
अच्छा.
हाँ
12th grade maths hardly.
3 अटेम्प्ट के बाद पास तो हो ही जाएंगे, इतना तो मुझे भी कॉन्फिडेंस है.
हाँ
सेकंड अटेम्प्ट में वो पास कर ही देते हैं.
लाइक 5% लोग फेल हुए थे फर्स्ट अटेम्प्ट में. एंड
तो डराने के लिए आया कि मोटिवेट करने के लिए आया इनको, भाई तू ये बता
नहीं,
दे.
पहली बार में 5% फेल हुए थे, दूसरी बार में सब पास हो गए फिर.
अच्छा
Right.
अच्छा, थैंक्स फॉर क्लैरिफिकेशन. तो भाई अगेन मैथ्स पढ़ लेना, नाउ यू अंडरस्टैंड व्हाट आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट. ग्रेट, दैट्स लवली. ओके ओके, वी गोना डू एन ओपन हाउस इन फ्यू मिनट्स. शुभम भाई, आर यू देयर? कैन यू हियर मी?
Yeah.
शुभम, या गो
Yeah,
अहेड
of
मैथ्स.
course. So my interview was basically in the starting of Feb itself. It was my first interview also. I was basically last in the panel, but luckily the panelists, one of them was from my alma mater and the same branch. So we bonded over that. We connected a lot. I had some work experience, so they grilled me a lot on that. So I had to know every in and out about my work ex. And they basically asked me something related to CAGR, like to calculate CAGR revenue of a firm. Also, the interview was very chill mode, very calm. At last, there was one professor who was trying to confuse me or maybe stress me out. So it was something on the question like whether you'll corrupt. Like I was working in a government office. So the question was basically, would you accept corruption or not? तो उस पे थोड़ा बहुत डिबेट चला था एंड इट वाज लाइक आई हैव जेन्युइनली टोल्ड देमसेल्फ कि टू सम एक्सटेंट आई वोंट बट आफ्टर एक्सटेंट हो जाता है सो वी ऑल हैड अ लाफ ऑन इट तो उससे थोड़ा लास्ट में चिल हो गया था.
अच्छा अच्छा अच्छा.
Yeah.
That's good.
So the main point was to be yourself. They used to judge how real a person you are. You don't want to be like the one with all the perfect ethics and all. Just show them who you are, and if your goals align with the campus's goals, they'll accept you as well.
बहुत ही बढ़िया.
So just wanted to add on to a point that Shubham added. So yes, this is one thing that Shubham mentioned, that there would be one prof amongst the panelists who will try to confuse you. It's like this is very common with IIM Calcutta interviews. So just be prepared. Don't give in.
हाँ बोल, don't give them.
Like don't take them seriously. They'll try to confuse you. They'll tell you that you are saying you are going wrong, and just don't listen to them and just stay firm if you know that you are correct.
Understood. That's going to be the case for sure in most of the IIM, in fact, Blackie interviews. They try to take, they try to change your mind, and then you actually, change your reasons, change your answers. It's a big no-no. They will get you to a sustainability trap. IIM Calcutta was trying to be a net zero campus. Are you guys net zero already? I remember 2020, 2021 के अंदर they were trying really hard. कुछ है क्या ऐसा net zero वाला Calcutta के अंदर?
सर अभी तक तो सुनने को नहीं आया हमारे को.
ये कोविड में बहुत फेमस हुआ था कि IIM Calcutta is net zero for sure. Okay. Nevertheless, good, yeah, good. So for an engineer, they will work experience, they will grill a lot. I'll give you a summary of this, but let's hear. I think is Nithin around? Nithin, can you hear us?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
My interview was a complete ride of emotions because I requested them to move my interview from last to front because I was having another interview scheduled on the same day. So entering, I was fully tensed. They asked me like, what is the reason you asked to like move up? So I said them that I was having cozy code interview in the afternoon. So I requested to move up my interview. They were okay with that, and then they started with my obvious question, like why I was having a work ex of 1 year in Byju's. So my first question in all the interviews was why Byju's failed.
Hmm.
So that's the initial question, and then post that they went into my application in which I wrote about my hobby of bike trips.
Hmm.
So then with one professor, we started discussing about what bike I had, what model it is, like how many bike trips I went. And then he went into like what is the competitor brands and like completely in the automobile industry, in the two-wheeler industry for some time. And suddenly there was a question from other panelists regarding the Trump Rivera project which was happening at that point of time.
Hmm.
So they were trying, and this was happening continuously. Like I was answering to one professor, and the next professor will completely come in with a different topic to throw me off.
Mhm.
So then one thing was they asked me a consulting problem regarding the hotels. We were sitting in ITC. They asked like how we will manage the ITC occupation rates and occupancy rates and stuff.
Mhm.
So that was one question I faced. And apart from that, my last question is something which stick with me. They tried to throw me off like at the very end that they asked me why like what should we do so that candidates like you won't enter IIM Cal.
What?
That was my question. Like for a second I was off, but I requested what was the question again. Then they modified the question saying that what should we do in the process so that you won't come to interview stage. So for that I ended up with an answer that because of my CG for 10th and 12th was low, but Cal has an absolute grading instead of percentile system. So if you modify that, I won't be able to hear. So they were okay with that, and I left the interview.
Nice. That's a good comeback. Wow, that's a scary question. Matlab, I could have gone mad when such questions were asked for sure. All right, this is lovely, yaar. This is lovely. So, overall, Tushar, you've been training these folks. I think more than 100 plus people have been trained under Tushar's guidance who've actually made it to Ahmedabad, because he's a graduate now and he was in first year. Then from that he's coming on board. Tushar, overall, ब्रह्मास्त्र क्या है यार कि अपने interviews crack करें ये लोग?
सर ब्रह्मास्त्र तो एक ही चीज है, वो लोग को देखिए एंड ऑफ डे कैल को चाहिए क्या?
हम्म.
वो लोग को चाहिए लोग है जो खुद के बारे में सब कुछ जानते हैं, स्ट्रेस मैनेज कर सकते हैं, मैथ का कोर्स उनका संभाल सकते हैं, फेल ना हो जाए। फेल
हम्म.
होना स्टूडेंट से ज्यादा टीचर के लिए बड़ा काम हो जाता है। तो
हम्म.
दे डोंट वांट पीपल टू फेल। So
हम्म.
they just want people with these kinds of different experiences, these kinds of skill sets to come in. The first thing that they have to do is, irrespective of background, basic math karna hai. Dossier on the dashboard works wonders to get it done. Second thing, profile based questions will come in. Graduation based questions might come in depending on the work experience or the sector of experience that is in there. So उसके बारे में जानना है, कौन सा कंपनी है, उसका धंधा कैसे चलता है, हाउ इज द बिजनेस वर्किंग इन एल एन टी का कितना परसेंट रेवेन्यू यहाँ से आ रहा है, आईटीसी अगर कोई आईटीसी में काम कर रहा है, आईटीसी का रेवेन्यू का पैट कितना परसेंट आ रहा है, फॉर एग्जांपल सिगरेट से कितना परसेंट दूसरे जगह से आ रहा है। दीज काइंड्स ऑफ थिंग्स यू हैव टू नो अबाउट योर कंपनी इन एंड आउट, योर प्रोफाइल इन एंड आउट। इफ यू नो दिस, more or less they'll try to थोड़ा सा stress, might try to stress you during the interview just to see can you remain calm. If you pass these three things, in my opinion, things look good.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. That's great. Prashant, what's your take यार? ब्रह्मास्त्र क्या है तेरा? Then we're going to shut it off. Admin, if you're live, if you can shut the live off and then we can talk in detail into क्या पढ़ना है, क्या करना है और कैसे crack करना है. Yes.
I feel it is being prepared and being confident with whatever you're saying. So it's like if they ask you questions, you need to confidently answer. But if you cannot answer, so it could either be a case of you not knowing anything or you're not getting the question right. So they asked me a question of like, what is the difference in values between the private and the public sector? So between NGOs and between a corporation or company. So I did not know what exactly he meant by values, but I still tried to answer it, which was the wrong thing to do. Rather, I could have asked him what exactly does he mean by values. So one thing is being confident in what you're saying, and secondly, questioning them what they mean with if you cannot understand what the question is. So that is one important thing. And I think if you're confident, if you show that you are well prepared and you're able to answer the questions, And even if your answer is wrong, if the logic behind the answer is right, okay, it's like if this is my answer and this is why I think this is the answer, then they will still be fine with it. So that is, I feel confidence is the main thing. The rest is preparation. It's like if you prepare very well, you'll automatically be confident in the interview. So
नहीं इनके थोड़े स्ट्रेस इंटरव्यूज लेने बाकी हैं, अभी मैंने कुछ शुरू नहीं किया, अभी जलवा, अभी तो फर्स्ट सेकंड कॉल रही हैं, अभी थोड़ा इनको थोड़ा मेलो डाउन भी करवाना पड़ता है. तो माय हम्बल सजेशन इज दैट डोंट टेक थिंग्स लाइटली. ओके, डोंट टेक थिंग्स लाइटली. इट्स आज अगर आप बहुत हवा में उड़ रहे हो कि आई एम कैलकाटा कॉल आया, कन्वर्ट हो जाएगा, यार 1500 लोगों को कॉल आया और नियरली 400, क्या बैच साइज चल रहा है विशांक तेरा, 400 ऑड,
480
480 sir.
सो या इट साउंड्स गुड, लाइक इतना कैट पढ़ के 99 मार लिए, ये तो कर ही लेंगे. 99 वाले भी 2500 लोग हैं यार, ठीक है ना. तो उसमें से भी यू आर सेटिंग ऑन अ रिजेक्शन पैनल, और होपफुली तुम्हारी अहमदाबाद भी कॉल आ चुकी होगी या बैंगलोर भी आने वाली होगी. सो व्हेन ऑल दीज कॉल्स कम आउट, मेक श्योर दैट यू टू कन्वर्ट द बेस्ट कॉल, और फिर बाद में अपन सोचेंगे ए वर्सेस सी, बी वर्सेस डी, उसका भी हम सेशन करेंगे, ठीक है, उसमें बड़ा मजा आता है. सो इसलिए कन्वर्ट करना और तुम्हारा कॉन्फिडेंस भी अलग लेवल बूस्ट होगा. और जिनकी कोई ऐसा है जिसकी ओनली अभी तक, अच्छा अभी तो बाकी आनी बाकी है, बट जो जेम वाले हो ना, ज़्यादा जेम जिनकी कॉल आई है भाई, बहुत अहमदाबाद बैंगलोर से ज़्यादा उम्मीद मत रखना. तो बट अगर कॉल आ गई तो मेक श्योर दैट यू टर्न द वर्ल्ड अपसाइड डाउन. सो आई वांटेड टू गिव यू होमवर्क, देन वी गोना क्लोज दिस सेशन एंड वी गोना डू एन ओपन हाउस इन बिटवीन. यू कैन अनम्यूट एंड टॉक योरसेल्फ. यहाँ पे ना डॉकेट्स पड़े हुए हैं, जिन लोगों ने अभी तक नहीं देखे. जिस दिन मैंने एक सेशन में बताया था, जिस दिन जिसकी कॉल आएगी, इसको खोलो डॉकेट को और अच्छे से पढ़ाई करना शुरू कर लो. एंड दिस डॉकेट ओनली मेक यू हम्बल. And there are 42 plus experiences over the past 5 years which has been given by people who have been converted. Most of them are converts, but बीच में आपको मिलेंगे there are some sessions in which they have not converted और verdict है कि भाई ये तो नहीं होने वाला है. You can also read the what, क्या हुआ था, civil engineer के question पूछे हुए थे, and non engineers के भी अलग से हैं बहुत सारे. This you can get check, number one. And number two, also check this thing, तुम्हारे बुकलेट्स हैं जिसके अंदर देर आर स्पेशल क्वेश्चंस फॉर द इंजीनियर्स एज वेल नॉन इंजीनियर. ये 50 तो मैं करवाई दूंगा तुम्हारी क्लास के अंदर, 50 फॉर इंजीनियर्स, 50 फॉर नॉन इंजीनियर्स एज वेल. सो नाउ देयर इज अ मूव सडनली हैपनिंग टुवर्ड्स नॉन इंजीनियर्स. कैल में हो रहा है. व्हाट्स द रेशियो ऑफ इंजीनियर्स टू नॉन इंजीनियर्स? नितिन, योर बैच, इंजीनियर्स टू नॉन इंजीनियर्स क्या रेशियो है?
I think it's a 27, I think so, sir.
27%. Okay.
No, 27 was for the female candidates, I suppose. It was 35, 37 for the non-engineers.
अच्छा, 37, 35.
हाँ, मतलब 60-40 split is engineer between non-engineer.
65-35 के आसपास
भाई
sir.
कर लो
हाँ.
पहले, तीनों तुम अलग अलग बोल रहे हो भाई, क्या कर रहे हो?
नहीं, मतलब
65,
No, sir, it
35.
was
that
35
range
to
only.
37 range
अच्छा,
only.
okay.
Yeah,
So it's like 2 engineers is to 1 non-engineer. That is the
That's so unlike of Cal. तुषार, तेरे टाइम में क्या था? तेरे टाइम में was like 20, 80?
हाँ हाँ सर, मैं सरप्राइज हो गया सुन के. मैं भी प्लेसमेंट उनका ये देख रहा हूँ कि ऐसे कैसे हो गया.
That's happening right now. IIM Ahmedabad is 50-50, so all the non-engineers, you guys have got a call. Earlier times, at my time, it was like 95% ऐसा होता था. And till last to last year, it's like 80-20 in Cal consistently past 5 years. But now the things are changing. As IIM Ahmedabad is 50-50, you never know, they can also move towards the same ratio as well. All right, this is superb, yaar. Thank you so much, everyone on the YouTube. By admin, if you can close the session. Now we're going to do some internal discussions, and it's going to be an open house. आपको कुछ भी questions हो आप पूछ सकते हो, and let's begin. And work really hard for your calls is my advice. हाँ भाई, anybody unmute yourself. Now you guys can ask anything under the sun. जो दिल में आ रहा है पूछो बिंदास भाई. और तुम भी जो मर्जी दिल कर रहा है बता भी दो भाई. हाँ, कोई टेंशन की बात नहीं.